on, let me transition over here. Hello, Mr. Producer. Bang. All right. So, yeah, fired up. The gentlemen are fired up. We got the new Discord launched. We're going to give that out to the public here starting March 1st. But right now, to the gentlemen that have already been inside, been with us since day one, since we opened this organization back in, I believe it was back in June or July of last year. And we've had some loyal dogs that have been with us since the beginning. We got them in the Discord. We're pretty much ironing everything out so that whenever we launch it to the public, that shit is on fire. And the Discord is off the charts. Bobby did a lot of work getting that thing put together, putting some nice sections together. I built out my section. Logan built out the fitness campus, so he's got all of his diet routine, his diet, his supplement plans, his workout routine. Bobby has the e-commerce campus on fire. I've got the private crypto plays in there. It's off the charts. I mean, it's exactly what we had. Yeah, go ahead.
I would say I already tapped into Bauer's workout plans yesterday. I saw he posted something in there where he worked out today. I'm like, I need something new. Got to get in there. So utilizing that. I think that's a great feature to have in there for anybody who's trying to make themselves a better person.
Yeah. And that's what people don't realize is there are professionals out here that do these things at a high level. You can't just expect to, wake up one day and be an e-com guru, know how to build a store, know how to be profitable, run Facebook, run Meta ads, run Google ads. Logan's over here quite literally, in my eyes, he's a professional athlete, right? Yeah, he's not playing in the NFL, but the dude's a professional athlete. He supplements professionally. He diets professionally. Everything's down to a science. The workout routine's down to a science. I've been doing what he does for, I don't know, a couple months in terms of some of the supplements he takes. Bro, the six-pack is cracking. I got the six-pack pumping. So this shit works. So, yeah, the Discord is off the charts. It's off the charts. And as we grow, and we had to move to the Discord because we were growing so fast. We couldn't do what we wanted to do on the school community anymore, and on our private crypto plays, the WhatsApp chat we had to move it over to the Discord. Professional time. Let's fucking work. Let's build. So yeah, things are going fantastic right now. And one last thing I'll mention: if you guys are not already inside the Taylor's Code, join ASAP, because once we go to March 1st, all the contributions are going up. $50 a month just to be a part of the Discord. Right now, it's only $25 a month to be inside the school. Once you join the school, we'll add you to the Discord, and you'll be locked in. Everybody's grandfathered in at $25 a month before it goes to $50. So it'll be double within 2 weeks. So do you want to be classic rule of business? Business is speed. You're going to move quickly. You're going to get inside now for $25 a month, or you're going to pay double for the rest of your life. It's up to you. So join now.
Yeah, it's a great point too that you mentioned on the professionals doing it on the inside, because like the stuff we were doing on school was great. Like, you could post about what you're doing and you could put classroom sections up, but if you really want to be a professional, you need the tools, and the tools are so important, especially like we did the crypto bots in there and stuff that you just send the CA, and it pulls up everything, the value, the liquidity, all that stuff, how long it's been launched, all that kind of stuff is so important to have, especially when you're at a high level of trading, stuff like that. You have to have those tools, and you can't do that in school, and even in WhatsApp it's way more difficult. And even like you
Exactly.
saw, like I'm sure you saw clicking around Squarespace and stuff, building websites is so important. It's so important from an e-commerce perspective, getting people to see your page and then land on it, click, buy, and having that all like done for you in Squarespace is so important. And even from a marketing perspective, getting your stuff out there, getting pages set up, getting content set up, doing content like this. And I think that's going to be a big part of the community that I want to work on as well, is getting people to start building their own content. I think once we have guys in there coming in and they're starting to build their own YouTube channels, and they're starting to do e-commerce, and they're starting to do crypto on their own and start building out their own channels, that's when we're going to know that, okay, we're doing really well here, because we're bringing guys in, they're taking our knowledge, they're applying it, and now they're making their own content, and they're bringing on more people. So I think that's an ultimate goal too. So we'll have to build something, because we've built YouTube's very quick here in the past 6 months. So we'll definitely have to we'll have to build something out with that as well. But yeah, everything you said is correct.
That's a great point. Yeah, because that's how you know you're actually providing value and building with the crew. The whole point of this is a network. It's not just show up. You learn a couple of things to make money, which is cool. Yeah, show up, learn how to make money from us, learn how to get fit from. That's great, fantastic. But the point is to get everybody making money and growing the network as a whole. So what's growing a network? What's valuable to everybody? Well, the more successful that the people inside of the network are, the people inside the Taylor's Code are, the more successful everybody is. So like you said, now we get guys like John, Nabes. I mean, who knows what their goals are? Jake, Ollie, all the guys that are inside, they start building their own channels. They start building their own businesses. That's fantastic for everybody. We want these guys to win like that, and that's what we're doing. So, everything that Bobby's learned, he implements that into the organization. I learned some from it. Everything that I learned, I implement that, put that into the organization. Bobby learned stuff from it. Logan teaches us stuff with fitness. We all become more fit, healthier. That's the whole point of a network. So now one man doesn't have to be an expert in everything because he can't be. What a man wants is you become an expert in one thing, do that at the very highest levels humanly possible, be the most competitive in that realm, wherever it is that you compete at. You bring that value to the table, and then all the other gentlemen in your network, they'll bring you the value that you need outside of their respective fields. And then you get everything that you need without having to spend the time to become fantastic at it. That's the whole point of a network. Let me make money off of what these other guys know, so I don't have to learn it myself. And in turn, I'll show them how to make money the way that I make money. That's it.
That's it. And that's what it's coming down to. It's coming down to a science now. We got it. Like you said, not one man can't do everything. So we have to be skilled in our individual skills that we are, and we bring it to the table and we're building it out. And it's still not even launched yet, but I was in there clicking around last night and over the weekend, and it's filling out. It looks great. We gotta, I think, from my own perspective, gotta find a way to. I like the pinned feature, pinning stuff and then it stays there, but still having something that they could scroll to. Like I like your private crypto plays, like your channel there. So that way it's just you, and then people could go through and see, okay, what you're doing. I think I want to do something similar with like a resources tab where no one's gonna be able to tap in and chat and mess it all up, but you could just scroll through and get all the resources. Maybe in order too would be how I like to do it. Like start here and then you just keep scrolling, and then by the end of the feed, it's like that's what you want to do. So that's something that I'm going to be working on, and we have a lot in there already.
Yeah, it's going to be sick. March 1st, gentlemen. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, because I know the ladies are going to be on fire in there as well. Let's see. All right. So we got to talk about the big. I put the name of the stream.
Harry Bolz.
Harry Bolz. So, all right, you got to give me some context because I purposefully didn't super dive into it because I wanted to learn it and pretty much talk it through on the stream. So, what's the deal with this Harry Bolz guy, the 19-year-old? Or no, he's not Harry Bolz. He's Big Balls.
Yeah, well, I think what it is that was just like his alias on X was Big Balls, and then when Elon hired him, they ended up doxing him, releasing all his information, released where he lived, his name, his profiles. So then it came out his name was Big Balls on Twitter. So they're like, we got Big Balls running Doge. So then Elon, and like I guess trying to stand up for him or and try to just troll the media even more, named himself Harry Balls for a few hours, I guess, the past couple days.
Yep.
So that's the context I think behind
Right.
Big Balls.
And but this is what I love, Elon, and what's going on right now is these guys, not only are they geniuses and they're doing fantastic things for the country, they are objectively geniuses. The couple of people that have called Elon the dumbest billionaire that they know.
Oh my God.
Oh my.
The dumbest senator I know.
Yeah, exactly. The dumbest senator. What? Yeah, this guy. Okay, anyways, forget that. That was just an outrageous statement. Outrageous. Just an oxymoron of oxymorons. The dumb billionaire, sure. So, Elon changes his Twitter name to Harry Bolz, and he even had BOLZ with the little, what's it called? Yeah,
I don't know what it's called.
I forget what it's
not
called.
apostrophe, an asterisk, something else.
It's in Spanish. It's not even a Spanish thing. It's a I don't know, whatever. Fuck it. It's Bulls. And the people at CNN said it on TV, which was classic. Oh, Elon seems to have changed his name on Twitter to Harry Balls. Nice lady. That's what she loves too.
That's good news. That's good news.
Yeah, CNN doing the people's work over there at CNN. They're really giving the fucking juice over there. So
So
yeah,
that's kind of the thing, and that's what I wanted to talk about today is people like that, like people on CNN. I saw Anderson Cooper. I saw that lady. I don't even know her name, the blonde lady, say Harry Balls. But for some reason, they're trying to justify the people that are protesting against it. Like they're like, oh well, they have our information. Da 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 da. It's like they've had our information for 150 years. You never said anything before. Now that somebody wants to go in and clean it up, you're all up. Oh, my information. Like, oh, you're getting really upset about your information that's been in this database for over 100 years.
yeah. Guy, I said this last week, and then I saw a clip of Rogan saying this on his podcast yesterday. It was the same point I made last week.
He
Same
must be
exact thing.
watching,
Yeah,
stealing our ideas.
Rogan. That's why I always see we got these bunch of live viewers, but not everybody comments in the chat. It's Rogan. Rogan's there in fucking Texas getting the juice for the podcast from us. So yeah, so Rogan was tuned in last Wednesday, and I was saying how Elon's worth $400 billion. What do you think he's gonna do with your information? What he's gonna steal that $20 out of your fucking checking account? Bumba clot, brokey. Oh, Elon's got my social. He might steal my $500, bruv. He'll spit on your
He's
$500.
gonna open up a new line of credit on Discover.
Yeah, yeah. Hold on. He's gonna open up credit on your bum ass credit score and get $1,000 credit line. Yeah, that for sure. Elon's really he's gonna take all your information. Yeah, and then so people say that, and then my first thought, because I'm a logical human being, well, hold on a second. What about all the people that work there right now? They all have access to your information too. So you only got riled up whenever it was Elon, the billionaire who actually has zero to gain from having your information, but you weren't riled up at the people who are working there that do have something to gain from your information. How does that make sense? No, it's just because, well, I don't like Elon, so he shouldn't have access to our information. Bruv, since when have you cared? Right? It's
So here's the thing
foolishness.
too. It's not even that Elon has information. He's not looking at personal information of like, oh, this guy receives this amount of money in Medicare or Social Security. I think they are for Social Security. So something that they found in Social Security is that there's people that are 150 years old still receiving Social Security checks. He's like, these people are probably dead. Like, why are they still receiving money? It's probably their family members, cashing that check every month. And from the Treasury place, there's a lot of money going out that has no categorization, has no comments to what it is. It's just a blank check being written to a company and has no comments behind it. So what Elon is saying is we need proper checks and balances that show what the category is. Is it for taxes? Is it for medical expenses? Is it what's this for? Just anything like a little categorization and then a comment that shows what it's for. Because a lot of these stuff it could be valid, but they don't know what it is. If it's just a blank category, blank comments, and it's being sent for $10 million overseas, that's not a good way to use our tax dollars. And I think that it all comes back. This administration is saying a lot of things. It's a common sense approach. So a common sense approach would be every company that wants to go public in the United States that has people investing into, they are audited by the SEC and public accounting companies that do audits. I did audits for over a year and a half, 2 years, and even the smallest real estate company you could think of that has a little building where tenants pay, the tenants are investors in that building, so they need to be audited. The United States is the largest corporation in the world with 320 million investors. Everybody who pays taxes is an investor in the United States. We're investing in better roads. We're investing in better lighting in the streets. We're investing in better everything, right? Everything our tax dollars goes towards is to make the community better. It's to fund our defense budget. It's to build nicer everything, right? So that's like we're the investors in the United States. So when you're taking the investors' money and you're just blank checking it out the door to infinity,
Mm-hmm.
that is not what the people want. And that's what the people voted for was mass reform in the government is to make sure that we have our expenses and our revenues in check. It is all the money that comes in from taxes. We just want to know where it's going outwards.
Right. And how's it something you would be against, right? And that's the disease of the mind that people have. And this is on both sides of the table or whatever they call it, both sides of the aisle. it could be Republicans, it could be Democrats that think like this, but this mindset of, okay, simply because this is what you believe, I'm going to automatically take the
Yeah.
opposite stance and try and die on that hill. What in what world does that make sense? Why is it that if somebody, just because they have a different political party than you, then anything that they believe you no longer can believe? No, we actually should agree on 99% of things, and then it's the very small, minute 1% that we disagree on, and that's whenever we vote, hash out our arguments, have our debates, have our points, and then let the best ideas win. But then, just because Trump was the one who put in Elon in place to do Doge, now everybody that's not a Republican saying, guy, the point you just made is exactly correct. If it's a regular company that's going public and they want to trade on the New York Stock Exchange, they have to go through the SEC and everything gets audited. Because investors who are putting their money into that company want to know, what the fuck is this company doing? So if they want to know that for a business that's just a normal company in the United States is being run, just doesn't have that much magnitude attached to it in terms of its failing or its success, right? It doesn't affect the country in a large way. Then why wouldn't we do the same thing to the fucking government of the largest business in the entire world? The United States is the largest business in the world, from in terms of well, I don't know if that's necessarily true, but I'll say it's true. So, or it has to be because of the economy, right?
Yeah.
So if that's how large the United States is and that's how much money the United States generates, why wouldn't we be auditing that company? This is the most important company in the world. If this company fails, we're fucked. Not only are the 300 million plus citizens fucked, but the billions of people across the world are fucked because we fund these countries, we protect these countries, we provide services, we provide goods, import, exports to all these countries. If the U.S. falls, if the U.S. dollar disintegrates, there's an economic catastrophe that's going to take place, and then a new world superpower is going to come into play, whether it's China or Russia. And if it's China, you guys aren't going to be happy because guess what? China's going to censor you. China's going to force you to have a certain number of kids. China's going to do da, da, da. So this is an existential crisis if the U.S. fails. So Doge is in here, Elon's in here trying to fucking save the country from bankruptcy, and people are like, oh, no, he can't have access to Social Security numbers. Guy, fuck your Social Security number. It's not going to matter if the U.S. goes bankrupt and goes under. Stupid.
And your Social Security has been breached in a data breach, probably somewhere across some company that you put it online somewhere. So,
Naeem's cousin in Bangladesh got your Social Security number, bro. They got it already, bro.
yeah, it
Don't worry.
doesn't matter. And I think from Doge's perspective, you need this stuff, like you said, it's an existential crisis that the country will go bankrupt if it doesn't. And I think to your point too about the Democrats that you see on the other side of the aisle who are opposing the idea, they're just making themselves look like fools, first of all, because every normal person that has any common sense would know, oh, this is a good idea. Yeah, we want to know where the money's going. So like you said, it's that very minute, the minority, the 1% maybe of Democrats that are, I would say that they're knowledgeable about fraud, and they're either A, getting a kickback from the fraud, or B, they just want to keep the fraud going in some way because it supports some organization they're a part of that funds their campaign of some sort. Elizabeth Warren, Bernie Sanders, some of those other ones that have been protesting in the streets, they're knowledgeable of some misdoing in some way, of some fashion. I'm not saying directly or it's probably indirectly, but it goes to show that they're probably aware of the fraud and they want the fraud to keep going. So that's why they're opposing the Doge. That's the only logical answer as to why they would want known fraud to keep going.
Yeah, exactly. It was the same thing with voters with the no voter ID. There's only one logical conclusion that you can come to as to why people wouldn't want voter ID. Because they want voter fraud. What could you argue? What could you possibly argue other than that? Because you need an ID to buy alcohol. You need an ID to buy cigarettes or any kind of tobacco. You need ID to do anything in the U.S. Anything that's meaningful, whether it's financial, so setting up a bank account, Doing anything with any kind of meaning requires an ID, and there's
Yep.
no issues with requiring that ID. But then the most important civic duty a citizen has, we're going to say, nah, you know what? For voting, though, we don't need an ID. What do you mean? What? What? So, what other conclusion could you come to? They make it so obvious, and they don't even try to hide it anymore. It's nah, no voter ID. Why? It's racist. Okay, well then, how about no ID for anything then? Well, no, you still need IDs for this, this, and this, and this, and this. Just not voting. Well, what? What are you talking about?
It makes no sense.
No
It
sense.
makes no sense. So here's another thing, Doge, and I think Doge is doing great from a monetary perspective, taking a look at the budget and taking a look at money going in and out. But also, I think an underrated part that Doge will be doing is just implementing systems for more efficiency. So something that Elon said yesterday, I don't know if you saw this, they did a little press conference in the White House.
Great press conference. Great.
Yeah, he brought up a thing that somewhere in Pennsylvania, I don't know where this is exactly, but they have an office, a government building where they retire government employees. But they said that the maximum amount of people they could retire in a month is 10,000 because they have to manually do paperwork, manual, like it's 1985, doing manual paperwork, and then they put it in a one of those yellow envelopes
Manila
and
folder.
then, yeah, yeah. And then they put it in a truck and drive it down a lime mine shaft where they store the paperwork. And they say the maximum amount they could do in a month is 10,000 because that's how much the truck can hold times the manual person doing it and then storing it. Put it on a computer, man. Put it on a hard drive and secure it. That's government efficiency. Now you can retire 50,000 people and send them on their way. Put it on a hard drive. Is it that hard?
He said it takes months from the time they apply for retirement to the time they can actually retire.
Yeah.
So, hey, guys, this is I love, dude. I love Doge. Why? How could people not be excited about this? Elon comes in, takes over Twitter, makes it into X, makes it way better. Got Tesla, got SpaceX, got Neuralink, got what's it called, Starlink, all these fantastic companies. Guy, we got two businessmen inside of the White House. Trump being the president, Elon being his right hand man. They're coming in here and they're trying to change shit so it's actually efficient, effective, runs in a way where it's going to be profitable for the country. I want to mention this as well. Think about the fact that the interest payments on the U.S. debt are now the largest expense that the U.S. has above the defense budget. The defense budget, what keeps us a safe, sovereign nation, the most important thing that we could possibly spend money on, which is our national security. The interest, paying interest on our debts, more money that we spend every single year. So think about that from an individual perspective or on a business perspective. So let's say an individual, right? You're a licensed CPA. If you're sitting down with somebody and you're looking through their finances and the interest that they're paying on their credit cards and on their mortgage and on their car loan all add up to the largest expense that they have every single month, higher than the actual payment itself, of like the payment of those loans itself, wouldn't you look at that person and say, yo, you're fucked up? What is going on? It would be asinine, right? So the interest on your debt is a larger payment than your house is, than your car is, than your groceries, your food, your food, your electricity, your gas bill, all that stuff. No, your interest is the highest. You'd look at them, you're fucked up.
And you know what? The first thing I would tell those people would be cut your expenses, stop spending money you don't need to spend, and pay off that credit card interest.
Yep.
Those are the first two steps that person should take. And that is what Doge is trying to do. They're trying to cut spending in the government to all these bullshit nonprofits and all this money leaving, going to these NGOs and stuff. It's gonna, yeah, and people are gonna lose jobs, right? I feel for anybody that has to lose a job. But when it's coming out of our expense, like your job is paid for by the people and you're doing this nonsense with it, I don't really feel as bad because it's you're not doing I actually saw you're not doing a good job. I saw the lady that paid for the migrant hotels. They actually just sent a check out last week for 59 million to the Roosevelt Hotel in New York City for 100% capacity at two times the average night rate. for $59 million. Who knows how long that was for? Maybe it was for 6 months. Maybe it was for the next year to house these migrants.
Mm-hmm.
Elon found it and they fired that lady immediately. Gone.
Mm-hmm.
That is what we want. And first of all, they lied. They said that they weren't paying for people in Congress. I don't know if you remember the Biden administration. They were saying they weren't paying for that, which was a complete lie now that we know and Doge has found this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So not only were they gaslighting us, lying to us, where you could see migrants pouring out into the street in New York, they were completely lying and trying to cover up the fact that the money wasn't going there when
Mm-hmm.
we all knew it was.
And so, and here's how the fraud takes place, just so people understand. So, one of the biggest things that I learned from transitioning out to a normal job and starting my own businesses and being in the realm of making money. Okay. So when you get into business for yourself, you start to understand how business people think, how money is made. You start to understand it on a different level. If you just work a 9 to 5 your whole life, it's not a knock on you, but you just don't look at things the same way that these people are looking at it. So, for example, the illegal immigration to this country makes sense because people want cheap labor, right? Americans are too expensive to employ, so it's nice to get some cheap labor to come into the country. It's illegal immigration. They can pay them under the table, pay them less than minimum wage, whatever. Okay, that's business. They're trying to make money. With the fraud that takes place in the government, very simple. These people are in positions of power. They control unlimited sums of money because they're a part of the government. Okay, how can I make money here? This is how people think. Well, if the government isn't run like a business where they're looking for the lowest payment that they can make, they're looking for the cheapest, they're not thinking in profits in margin. They're thinking in just, oh, we have the money, we can just send the check. So the government ends up overpaying, like you said with the Roosevelt Hotel, 2x the average night. So why would somebody in the government pay 2x the average rate for this hotel room, right? Well, it's kickback. It's, oh, okay, I'm going to pay you double than what this is worth and what you would get this on the open market for. I'll pay you double. You keep 150% and I keep 50%. You send me back 50%. That's my kickback. So now the hotel, they make an extra 50% on their margin, on their profit. Huge banger. And then the person who writes that check, that outrageous sum of money, the hotel, they'll just kick them back 50%. Boom. That's how money's made. That's simple. That's all the
That's a
fraud.
great point. That's a great point because think of the shareholders of the Roosevelt Hotel. Like you don't think they know somebody at the government who they talk and they're like, hey, listen, if you bring the migrants to the Roosevelt, you could pay us, the government could pay us to keep the migrants here, and then we'll just take a cut, and then it's exactly how it works.
This is business. This is fucking business. This is what the mob used to do with the government. This is not what the cartel does in Mexico. This has happened in all of human history. There's fraud. People aren't dumb. They talk. They have ways to make money. Oh, okay. Oh, here's a way we can make money. Oh, here's a way. This is how business people think. So that's exactly what's happening. The government just has unlimited sums of money. Cool. I'm overpaying you. Why would I overpay you so much? So that I can get a kickback and get money. This is exactly how it works. So same thing with the senators. You start to see these senators now who get paid, $100,000, $200,000 a year salary, but somehow, Nancy Pelosi's worth $200 million. It's fraud. It's fugazi. Now, I'm not necessarily saying that these people, are wrong for taking advantage of the system, because I would be disingenuous to say that. If there's a way to make money in the system, I'm all for making money. I get it. But you have to call it what it is. It is fraud. It is, Nancy Pelosi has insider information because she's passing fucking legislation. Her husband's on Wall Street. Hey, we're about to pass this legislation before the public knows. Go ahead and sell this stock and go ahead and buy that stock. Now they're worth $200 million.
Mm-hmm.
So, but people got to be, you can't be so, what's it called? You can't be so ignorant or so naive to believe that these things aren't going through people's minds. Everybody's trying to make money. Mm-hmm. So what Elon's doing is great because he's exposing where the fraud is, and it needs to be done because it has gotten outrageous. Everybody's lining their pockets and bankrupting the country.
I would love to see a financial statement for each section of the government. Like, I just want to see what their revenues were, what their expenses were, and what else they're paying for. Like, I don't understand why we can't get something like that from them. And there's a lot of moving parts, right? It's so big. There's so many different departments, but you still have budgets on spreadsheets. Like, there's still numbers out there. Like, give us something, like some kind of way to analyze the financial situation of see what money's coming in, sales tax, property tax, income statement tax, social security tax, Medicare tax. Like, show us this broken down, and then we could analyze if, because it's, at the end of the day, it's our money we spend, it's our money we put back in, like we said. So give us something to work with. Like, it's we the people. It's not the bureaucracy taking the money and then kicking themselves back with it. And that's the problem we've been having. And that's the problem that they're trying to solve. I'm excited to see what they do from a Department of Education standpoint, the defense budget. There's so many different departments of the government that they still haven't even gone through, which is scary to see what they will find at the Pentagon, because the Pentagon hasn't passed an audit in, and I think since it was a thing, since the Pentagon was built, they haven't passed an audit. So seeing where that money's going is honestly kind of frightening, because that's that's all of our high tech military stuff. So who knows what they're doing with that money?
Right. And just another thing I was thinking about as well, and then we can jump into something else. I saw a clip of, again, AOC, classic. She was, dogging on Elon for his gesture at that rally, and she was doing the same thing at her little speech. So, but anyways, I saw a clip of AOC on CNN with Anderson. Anderson Cooper's definitely gay. Is he gay?
Yes.
Bro, he's super gay. You could just tell
Yeah.
he's gay.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah. I figured he was. So she's on CNN, right? And CPI 3%. It came out. Yeah, we had economic data today. Appreciate that,
Oh.
Vendel. So, okay. So AOC's on CNN, and it was in 2023 under the Biden administration. Texas, one of the judges had tried to stop in the courts some legislation that had to do with abortions, right? Texas judge said, nope, we're stopping it. We're freezing that. We're not implementing that in Texas. AOC's on CNN saying, yep, you know what? Quite frankly, the Biden administration, they need to ignore that judge, and they just need to do it anyways. They need to ignore them. Okay? Now, fast forward to 2025. Judge in Massachusetts is trying to block the Doge from being able to stop payments for one of the agencies or something that's going on in Massachusetts, right? What do the Democrats say? What do they believe? Oh, yeah, they
gotta listen to the
you gotta
judge.
listen to the judge. Yeah, you can't ignore the. That again is the disease of the mind that I'm talking about. Is they don't have any consistency. It's not necessarily just them too. I'm sure. Again, it's on both sides of the aisle. I'm sure there are Republicans that do the same thing. I'm just noticing it now because obviously Trump's in office, so it's the Democrats that are losing their mind.
Mm-hmm.
It's the unwillingness to be consistent. Be consistent. I'm consistent with my beliefs. If the way that you're thinking about something, if I say something that benefits me in some type of way, and then the same situation happens for you, and it might not necessarily be something that benefits me, I'll still agree, because you know what, you're right. You use the same logic that I used. I need to be consistent with my beliefs. I need to be. If I said you should have ignored that person, I'm going to say, well, you can ignore them too. But it's just the saying whatever makes sense for them and then switching it as soon as it doesn't make sense. What is that? Have consistency. Have something that you stand on. Oh, so they should ignore the person in Texas, but now they got to listen to the person in Massachusetts. That you can't play that game. You're always going to lose.
And they kind of did something similar too, I believe, with Biden and the student loan stuff. A judge struck that down, and the Democrats did the same thing. They said, "Don't listen to the judge. We want student loan forgiveness." So that's another example of them doing the same thing there. But if you look back on even like Obama and immigration policy, Obama did not have an open border policy. Obama was very strict on immigration. He did deport. I think Obama deported more people in his 8 years than Trump did his first 4 years. Obama was very heavy on immigration. And like you said, the flip-flop, like what that I think believe that's the reason why they lost so many voters, is because they can't stand on what they believe. Like you said, it's like, okay, Obama was heavy on immigration. Trump came in, said he was going to build a wall. It wasn't like that much more of a different immigration policy. It's just he was more loud about it, more projected about it. And then they go, oh, we don't want that. No, no. And then Biden and Kamala, they are completely opposite of that. So now the Democrat Party flipped in 4 years from a completely closed border, highest deportation rate ever to the highest influx of immigrants.
Hmm.
So it's like they lost so many people there because they can't stand on what they believe. And probably so many Democrats were like, listen, this is just like, this isn't what we voted for 4 years ago with Obama or whatever it was. So I think that's goes
Yeah.
to what you're saying.
That's where the spiral took place. It became, instead of it being, we're going to believe what we believe in and we're going to cater to our voters and we're going to make sure we do what our voters want, it turned into oh, what do they believe? Cool, we believe the opposite. That's where they lost the game. That's where they spiraled out of control. There's clips, classic. You see them on X, clips of Hillary Clinton whenever she was running. We're gonna
Yep.
da, 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 da. We're deporting people. Closed border, immigration. Obama, closed border. We're deporting people. We're sending
Yeah.
back families. We're taking all this stuff. Okay, Pompino comes in. We're building a wall. What? What? No, look, bring them in. Bring them in. Send the criminals. Send the fucking rapists. Send the every. Oh shit, I can't say that on YouTube. Send them in. Oh, no. That's it. It's completely flipped. And then now they're wondering why all their voters are thinking, what the fuck? I don't want these people coming in here and stealing my jobs. What? All right, I'm going over to the Republican side. And then you see all the Democrats defecting because what the Democrats used to believe in is not what they believe in anymore. So you see RFK Jr. come over, you see Tulsi Gabbard, you see
Yep.
Pompino used to be a Democrat, Elon used to be a Democrat. They were all Democrats. They had to move over because they started losing their minds. So, and I heard it said very well by a gentleman. He said, the problem is they're taking 80-20 issues where 80% of the population believes one thing and only a small minority, 20%, don't believe in it. And they're deciding to fight for and scream about the 20% issues when 80% of people do not believe in that. Well, in a democracy, you're going to get decimated because 80% of people is way more than 20%. So if you're going to only try to cater to the 20%, you're going to lose a lot of elections because 80% are going to go the other direction.
Yep. And I heard a good thing related kind of similar is that the idea for like a liberal side and a conservative side is that the conservatives want to keep the values and the beliefs more or less the same year over year, every election. Not radical, not making crazy changes, keeping the same ideas. Liberals are the free thinkers. They want to bring in new ideas. They were the ones who probably, gay marriage and stuff like that, things that are inherently good and okay. But now they're getting too far out there. The ideas are too crazy. So that's when you need to stay conservative. And that's when it's like, okay, everything we have right now works very well. We're not going to just start doing all this crazy stuff. What we have works. Let's stay conservative. And that's what you saw the country vote for, was a more conservative approach of keeping the beliefs and the values.
Right. Yeah, because at the end of the day, I'm not even one or the other. I'm not conservative. I'm not liberal. I'm not Democrat. I actually don't give a fuck about Democrat. I don't care. I'm about freedom. Freedom to do what you want to do. The problem was, like you said, with the left, what happened is became so radical that it was no longer about freedom to do what people want to do. It was about imposing our mindset on
Yep.
everybody else, regardless of what they think. That's no longer freedom. That's not freedom to get married with who you want to get married with. That's not free. No, that was, you have to think this way or you're racist, you're bigoted, you're I don't even know what the fucking other words are.
Transphobic.
Transphobic. Oh, well, okay, never mind. I'm trying not to get us banned, but yeah, so it stopped being freedom to do what you want to do, because you should have the right to choose. I believe everybody should have freedom to do what they want to do, even if I don't think it's the right thing. If they want to do that, they can do that. The issue is it became not about freedom. It's, I'm imposing my mindset, I'm imposing my will, my ideology on you and your children.
Hmm.
That's an issue. That's no longer freedom. That's, we think we know better, so you have to think how we think. That's not freedom.
Nope. Nope. But no, that's good. I think just to wrap it up, the Doge stuff, keep at it. Just keep finding fraud. The more fraud they find and the more stuff that they find that's not supposed to be spent, I think the more you'll see people start to come off of that stance of we don't need Doge, like the senators and Elizabeth Warren, Bernie Sanders. The more corruption and fraud they find, the less you can advocate for no Doge. So, I mean, we're only 2 weeks in, and they found like hundreds of billions of dollars already. So just let them keep going.
Yeah, yeah. And people shouldn't be surprised, genuinely. I'm not surprised at all. I'm not sitting here thinking, "Oh my goodness, they sent this much money here. I can't believe that." Of course I can believe it. This is human nature. People are going to find ways to make money. That's literally all me and Bobby do with business. You try to find ways to make money that make sense. The problem is that these people aren't providing any value in return. That's the issue. That's why it's fraudulent. When we make money, it's in exchange for value. What they're doing is theft, right?
Yeah.
Theft is, gaining something without providing an equal thing in value in return.
Somebody asked Elon that. They said, like, yo, SpaceX gets all these grants from the government. He's like, yeah, but we give value to the people. Like, we SpaceX and Starlink. Like, we're providing value to people. We're not just taking the money and burning it and sending it to Africa for whatever reason. Who
Right.
knows what's getting, used with that money?
That's a great point as well. Yeah, they're trying to attack Elon, that one reporter. Don't you think you have a conflict of interest? Don't you think you have a conflict of interest, et cetera, et cetera? Elon's sitting there saying, okay, listen, if another a rocket company comes in and provides more value than SpaceX and can literally send rockets to space, catch them on the way back down, even though his company is the only one in the entire world, the only one in human history who's ever been able to do that. Yeah, if another rocket company comes in and can provide more value to the government, yeah, they should get that contract. It's like, what are you trying to say? SpaceX is the premier. They should have those contracts. Do you think SpaceX and sending people to Mars is more important than trans fucking books that they were funding in some different country to teach kids about being trans? What do you think provides more value to humanity? Sending people to Mars and becoming multi-planetary, or trans books? Use your fucking brain, dude. You're worried
Yeah.
about Elon and his contracts. He's sending people to Mars. Give him the money.
I would really love to know what Trump and Elon talk about off camera, just to see like probably like these people are idiots asking
Yeah.
these questions.
Like, what are you trying to say? Other countries can't do what Elon does. The United States can't do what Elon does. NASA cannot do what Elon does. Russia can't do what Elon does with rockets. China can't do what Elon does with rockets. Elon, do you think you have a conflict of interest with your government contracts? Bruv, there's nobody else who can even do it. Who else are they going to give the contract to? Bruv, just so there's no depth to the thought process, but that's because there's not supposed to be a thought process. It's just, okay,
Yeah.
let's yeah, it's outrageous. But
They're just trying to get a clip.
Exactly. They're just trying to get something for their network. So, okay. The one other thing I had planned was supposed to be Suits. Okay. That was the original title of the stream. I said the finest suits. So we could go over some suits and what people should be wearing, what the gentlemen should look for whenever they go get some suits. Because you do want to have, it's all a part about being a gentleman. Yeah, you want to be competent. You want to be fit. You want to make sure you look good, work out, get your haircuts every single week. We've talked about these things before, but it's important to know how to get a suit tailored, where to go to get a nice suit, how not to spend thousands of dollars to buy a suit, because not everybody's starting out like a fucking rich businessman. Yeah, you got to get some suits without breaking the bank. Understood. So I'm just going to put that out there just so these guys are thinking about it. We don't have enough time to go through it now, so we can do it next week. But get into the mindset of, we talked about it before, you want to always make sure you look good, okay? I've talked about this in the one live stream about getting a haircut every single week. I still, for the past 4 years, haircut every single week. When I go out, I don't wear sweats. I don't wear a sweatshirt. I'm always looking fresh, something fresh on. Smell good, look good, feel good. You're going to make more money. You're going to make better connections. People are going to respect you more. You have to think like this. Be mindful of what you look like when you leave the house. If you're going anywhere where you're going to see other people outside of the gym, Okay. So I would encourage you guys to research, and we'll go over it next week too, but research what suits are like. What is a nice suit? How do you get a suit tailored? How many different types of suits should you have? What different types of combinations can you have? What kind of colors can you have? So that when you guys go out and you go to meet somebody important, or you go to a business dinner, you go to network with people, you can show up fresh. And if you show up in a nice suit, a lot of times you're going to be the best looking motherfucker there. And don't feel like, oh, if I'm the only one in a suit, everybody's going to look at me weird. No, people are going to respect you that you put that kind of presence, you put that kind of time and attention into an event. You're going to make them feel self-conscious because they underdressed. They don't look as good as you. They didn't take it as serious as you. Yeah, no, don't wear a suit to fucking McDonald's. I'm not saying that. But if you're going out for cigars, you're going to a nice cigar lounge, you're having to sit down, eating some food, smoking some cigars with some gentlemen, show up in a fucking suit, like a big dog. See what that does for you.
Yeah, anytime you put a suit on, you feel different. It's such a confidence booster. What I could give you guys, and what I started with, but now I've exceeded this in my journey for more high fashion, is I would start off with three different suits if you could afford it. You know, you don't have to get these all at once, but I think where you could start as a baseline to have is for any situation you could do this. And I think there is a difference between just having a blazer, just like a nice jacket suit, like a suit jacket, and the whole suit itself is the matching pants, and a tie to go with the suit, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're going to start with a suit, I would start with one, black, because black could go with anything. You're going to a wedding, you're going out with the boys, you're going out just for a night on the town, a black suit, jacket, pants goes anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Then I would go to a blue. I'd say a blue suit is more for business. You're going for a meeting. You're going to meet someone out for a client lunch. A blue suit is more businessy. You know, it's not that formal black. It's more neutral. It's more light. You're out for lunch, you're out for dinner. A blue suit is out meeting people, out doing different things for business
Mm-hmm.
perspectives.
Mm-hmm.
And then I would say have a light color, either a gray or a cream. I started with a gray, now I have a cream, now I have even like a light shade of, it's almost like purple. That's for special occasions. You're gonna hit the dance floor, you wear the purple. So having that gray then is another way to go. I live in Florida, so having a nice gray to go to events and other things like that, just going out on the town for dinner, having a gray is super nice to have. So that's what I believe, having a dark, so a black, a blue, and then a light shade, so a gray or a cream or a beige, something like that, is what I would start with. Because now you have something for every occasion.
Exactly. Yeah, and you look. I'm telling you, you look and you feel so different whenever you actually show up prepared, like a gentleman to these things. I mean, you throw on a suit jacket, even if it's just a suit jacket, like you said, with some nice dress pants, some nice slacks. Bang, you got on the loafers. You got your Rolex on her. If you don't got the Rolex, hey, throw on another nice little watch, right? Throw on the watch, and you're walking around with that blazer on. You got the watch popping out whenever you're talking. Boom, boom, boom. You're using your hands. You're interesting. You're funny. You got stories. Blah 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 blah. Everything changes for you. The whole fucking persona's different. If you're showing up with a t-shirt and you got a little gut on you and your fucking shit's hanging out your shirt and listen, you can't get away with that unless you're a tech billionaire and you would just want to show up looking normal. Okay, fine. But unless you're a billionaire that doesn't need money anymore and you've completely beat the game, you need every single advantage that you can possibly get. So, very important. You guys got to keep that at the forefront of your mind. Fashion, the way that you look, the way that you present yourself does matter. It matters because that first interaction that people have with you will be the way that they remember you. Okay? The first impression is the most important. So when they see you, what are they going to see you as? Are they going to look at you as a professional, somebody who's competent, somebody who's well-dressed, somebody who smells good, speaks well, articulate, interesting, funny? Or are you showing up just like everybody else, blending into the crowd, not really providing anything of value, not looking fresh, not taking the situation seriously? Well, guess what? Your life's not going to go very well either because nobody's going to take you seriously. Nobody's going to try to do business with you. Nobody's going to try to hire you. Take every single advantage that you can possibly get. There's no reason not to.
Yeah, and from a buying perspective, where should some of these gentlemen buy suits at? I have a couple just off the top of my mind. Thinking about it, I would say there's probably like a low, medium, and a high tier, just thinking off of the top of my head. Even the low tier, though, you could get high quality suits here, where I'm going to say.
Hmm.
So the first one that I could think of, I'm trying to think of one that's like mass appeal, where people could go no matter where they're at, not just a little boutique in your hometown. Um, why is this frame skipping? But first one I could think of, and where I think I got my first suit, was Macy's. So any mall or department store where you go, Macy's has a very nice collection of suits, and you could get them for relatively cheap. I'd say $100 for the jacket, $100 for the pants, right? So you could get a basic starter nice suit. Like they have nice stuff. They have Tommy Hilfiger. They have Calvin Klein suits. Like they have nice stuff at Macy's for sure.
Hmm.
So starting off at Macy's, everybody has a Macy's near them probably. So go take a browse through the sections. Like it's really not that expensive there. You could get more expensive stuff there, definitely. Second one I could think of, mass appeal. This is getting maybe a little bit more expensive, is the Men's Warehouse. Men's Warehouse
Yeah.
has some really nice stuff. They have hundreds of suits that you could look through, jackets, pants. Even they have like vests and other stuff that is very nice looking. That's not suits. So I like Men's Warehouse from a professional's dress standpoint.
Hmm.
And then my personal favorite, but it's probably the most expensive from a minimum perspective. I just bought a suit from here a couple of months ago for a wedding coming up. I have Suit Supply. So Suit Supply is a little probably harder to find than Men's Warehouse and Macy's, but Suit Supply has some really nice stuff, but it's on the little bit more pricier end.
Fantastic options. Yeah. And I would say the same things whenever I was younger and I would do things for homecoming, high school, homecoming, prom, and then in college. Yeah. I would get, because I was a kid, I would only get stuff from either J.C. Penney or Macy's, one of
Hmm.
those department stores. So 100%. It doesn't have to be thousands of dollars. When you build yourself up enough and you got a nice enough business, you have a big enough portfolio, you got your crypto cracking, etc. You want to go buy a couple thousand, $10,000 suit, get it tailored, for sure. But until then, so you start there, get something clean, just something so you can be presentable. It really isn't, the amount of money you spend really isn't that important when it comes to fashion. It
Hmm.
genuinely is not.
No.
You can only make a piece of fucking clothing look so many different ways. There's only so many tiers of luxury you can go. It's not really different. Okay. So you don't have to spend hundreds of thousands of dollars to be able to look fresh. If you go to the right places, you put together the right outfits, you'll look fantastic. You just got to have a sense of style. And if you don't have a sense of style, speak with us. I'll let you know if it looks good or not. I'll let you know if you should match something with this or that or the, and draw inspiration from other people. It's okay to draw inspiration from other people. If you got somebody on Instagram, on YouTube, somebody that you watch and you like the way that they dress, you like their style, etc., pay attention to it. Write down what they wear. How do you think, what do you think of that person when you see them and what they wear? Do you think good things? Do you think they look professional? Do they think they look classy? What's their style? You like that style? Good. Try to copy it to some degree. That's fine. And then make it your own in whatever way that you can. The other thing I'll mention again one more time too is also make sure that you're working on your physique. You could have the best quality suit in the entire world. If you still look like shit, you're not going to look good in that suit. So focus on your fitness, focus on your physique. If your body physically is put together, then that suit's going to be an enhancer. If your body's not put together physically, that suit is going to it's going to make it more obvious that you don't look good because the suit's not going to
Hmm.
fit you right. So don't go out there thinking that you can spend a bunch of money on clothes and then just look terrible and think that people are going to love you all of a sudden. I mean, it's better than nothing, but the first thing I notice with people is, are they fit or are they not fit? That's the first thing that everybody thinks. Oh, this guy's a big fat guy. This guy's fit. Oh, this guy's jacked. Okay. People notice that. So make sure that the way that you look inside the suit is very tied to your your physique itself. So make sure you're working on that as well. Make sure that you're eating well, supplementing well, fit in the gym, working out, running. Doesn't have to be 6-7 days a week like me, fucking Bobby and Logan, but 3-4 days. Make sure you're slim. Make sure you look good in your clothes. You're fucking cooking, baby. You're cooking.
Yeah. And going with that, kind of like I was talking about before, and what Priamo said is like a starting off at a base level suit versus buying something $800 right off the rip. is it's all about how it fits you. If the $800 suit is too big in the arms, too big in the chest, it's going past your shoes, past your ankles, it's not going to look good. But if you get a cheap suit and you work with the people there, the tailors there, they measure your chest, they measure your waist, they measure everything up, and it fits perfectly. You can make a $250 suit go way further than something that doesn't fit you right. And if your body's on point, like Primo was saying, if your body's ripped up, your physique is good, and the suit fits you good, you could take a cheaper suit way further.
Exactly. So outside that, gentlemen, we'll get more into that next week. We'll give you some actual examples. We'll share our screen. I want to show you guys a couple of different suits, a couple of different ideas, things that you guys can do, you can implement, and then we'll get everybody on fucking fire. Taylor's Code is growing. Every single day we're growing. We're adding new members. We just had new people join this morning. So we're going to get them set up. Again, come March 1st, everything's going to double. Okay? So once we go and we launch the Discord official to everybody, it's $50 a month. Right now, it's only $25. If you want to save yourself that money every single month for the rest of your life, because once you join, I'm telling you, you're not going to want to leave. Okay? Because we're just going to keep winning bigger, 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 bigger every single year. We're going to start doing events around the world. We'll start traveling. We'll start meeting up with people in the organization across the world. Things are only going to blow up from here. So join now. Get in. We'll get you into the Discord. We'll get you added to the private crypto plays, the e-commerce campus, the fitness campus, whatever it is that you guys are looking to do. We'll get you inside. We'll get you working. We'll get you making money or getting fit. And just take the opportunity to actually surround yourself with some fucking winners. Again, you're never going to change your situation if you're still hanging around with the same people that you've been hanging around your entire life. If you're not hanging around with a bunch of millionaires and guys who are trying to improve their lives, you're not going to do this. You're not going to do it either. So join the Taylor's Code. The link is in the description or in the description of the channel. So click on my YouTube channel page, go to the actual channel, and then the Taylor's Code, the community's link there at the top. Join the school. I'm going to send you the Discord. We'll get you into the Discord. And then starting March 1st, it's just going to be straight to our landing page on our website. And it'll be $50 a month minimum. And you'll be able to get to the Discord from there. But if you want to save yourself that $25 a month, join now through the school. Cool.
Yeah, I second everything Priyama just said. Make sure to get in early. If you guys are watching this and you have the opportunity to get in early, definitely do it. Because if you're watching and you don't take action March 1st, you're going to be paying double moving forward. So definitely get in now while you can. And I think this is, after talking about suits and stuff, I think we should definitely implement a fashion section or channel into the Tailor's Code so we could, show off our fashion, more tips, more stuff like that, more value, which is what everybody wants. So we'll get that in there. And I think it's a good place that we could post. I could post some of my suits I have, take pictures in them, and show you guys where I got them from, how much things cost, so you have an idea of what's going on. So I think that's a good idea for you guys moving forward.
That's a great idea. Yeah, we'll definitely do that ASAP. Get a fashion channel inside the Discord. But outside that, ladies and gentlemen, fantastic stream. Brought the fucking fire. We'll see you guys tomorrow for the Ultimate Market Professionals. Myself and Logan, we're going to go live at 12 p.m. Eastern time. We're going to go over markets. So we'll do crypto. We'll do some legacy markets. And then Saturday, we got the university meeting. And then Sunday, we got Bobby's live stream at 10 a.m. Eastern, right?
Yep, 10 a.m. Eastern.
10 a.m. Eastern on Bobby's channel. And Bobby's channel it's Bobby Nishman, right?
Yep.
Bobby Nishman on YouTube. All right. All right, gentlemen. Let's get out of here.
All right, we'll see you this week.
Mr. Producer. We got all them hoes.